Matatu. That's what we are going to see today in the story time. But what is a matatu? We will find out very soon, okay? Do you know what is a matatu?
No.
Okay. Have you ever been to African continent? Any of you, have you been to Africa? Have you ever been to Africa?
Not in real life, but in a book.
In a book. So we are visiting a very special country in Africa today. Are we ready? So let me introduce this little cutie here. What's your name, cutie?
My name is Arav, and this is my mother.
You forgot my name?
No, I didn't forget your name. I would have said, what a strategy brain, I forgot your name.
Right. So welcome to our page. This is story number 70. 71.
I can't wait till we get to story 100.
Wow, that'll be amazing, right? I hope we can reach there. Okay. So, all the friends, say hello to us in the comment section. If you are new here, do let us know where are you from. Are you from Africa? Do let us know. We'll go and say hello to our friends.
Is there a bunny in the story?
There's no bunny in the story. There's a matatu in the story. But what is a matatu? We'll find out very soon.
Something like a car riding or something.
You're almost there. Hi, Nirav. Who's this? Kashvi. Hi. Hi, Samar.
Hi,
how
Samar.
old are you? Do let us know. We don't know how old are you.
Hi, Samar.
Hi, Ihan. Where are you from? By any chance, are you from Africa? We are looking for people from Africa today because that's where we are going today.
Why do you say hi, bro?
Hi, bro. I don't know why he said hi, bro, but it's cool, no?
Yeah.
Hi, Meenakshi. All right, guys. So, should we go to Africa? Let me show you a bigger picture. This is where we are going to Kenya today in
Kenya.
Africa.
And is that the capital city of Africa?
Kenya is not the capital. Hey, Africa is a continent, no? It doesn't have a capital. Kenya has a capital. Oh, so we know Samarth is 3.5 years. Okay, 3.5 years. So RFC, Kenya is in red color. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Which side is it? Is it on the east or the west of Africa? Many a times I have told you how to know east and west by using your hands.
W-E-S-T.
Face palm. That's wrong. Your right hand is east.
V-E-S-T.
That's wrong, Arav. Your right hand is east. Is Kenya on the right hand side or the left hand side?
Left.
What, Arav? See, it's on the right side, isn't it? Where is Kenya?
West. East.
East. See, this is east, this is west, right? Right hand side is east.
East.
And left hand side is?
East. West. East,
Yes.
west.
So where is Kenya? East or west? See?
East.
East, right? Ihan is from Saudi. Okay, Ihan. All right. Should we go to the story? Should we go in a matatu?
Yeah. Wait.
Are you ready? Should we sing the magic song?
Yes.
Okay, let's sing the magic song.
The magic hat is shaking.
The magic hat is shaking. The magic hat is shaking. The magic hat is shaking with a story.
Can I tell you what's the story?
Yes.
Let's turn it around.
Yes.
Say the magic potion.
Yes.
The matatu car.
Matatu car. Let's go. The matatu.
Story.
So, Arav, every culture has its own folk tales and story. This story comes from Kenya.
Kenya.
There is a tribe in Kenya which is called the Kamba of
Wait,
Kikima.
Kenya is like kiwi.
Kenya.
Kiwi.
Kiwi is in New Zealand, okay? This is Kenya, which is in Africa.
In New Zealand, in Australia, there's also a kiwi bird, right?
Yes.
What I saw on the map?
Babu. Who is Babu?
A young
Grandfather
boy.
is Babu. The young boy is
Okay.
Kyoko. Because we
Kyoko.
are in Kenya, they have different names. They don't have names like Arav, Samarth, and Kashvi, and Meenakshi, and Nirav, and Anirudh. They have different names. So what is the boy's name? His name is Kyoko.
Kyoko.
And what is the grandfather's name? He is Babu. Yeah?
Yeah.
Babu, hurry up or we will miss it. Kyoko said to his grandfather. I don't have any hurry left, Kyoko. His grandfather leaned on his cane because grandfather is a bit older. So grandfather is also funny. He says, I don't have any hurry left. Don't worry, if we miss this one, we will catch the next, said the grandfather. For years, Kyoko had watched the matatus dropping off and picking up passengers at the village market. When the matatus drove away, leaving Kyoko in a cloud of dust, he always dreamed of that day when he would climb on board the matatu. But what is a matatu? We will soon find out. Today, for the first time, to celebrate his 5th birthday, he would be boarding a matatu. And is he super excited?
I think so, yes.
Super excited he is. Can't you move a bit faster? He asked, taking his grandfather's hand in his own hand. What did the grandfather say? That's fast enough. You run ahead and you ask the conductor to wait for us. So there is a conductor. I'm guessing matatu is a bus or a car, something like that.
Yeah.
What's your guess? What do you think is a matatu? What is a katati? Katati? Oh, that's a tribe of Kenya. I think Kikiki. These are all funny names, isn't it? What is my tower number? Kashvi, I'll share with you later, okay? Matatu. I think matatu is a bus. You're absolutely right, Meenakshi. Matatu is a shared bus. So in Kenya and also in Africa, what do they call a bus? They call it a matatu. It sounds like Pikachu, isn't it?
Oh yeah, matatu Pikachu.
Yeah.
Pikachu, Electroball.
Right. So Kyoko raced toward the market because he did not want to miss the matatu. It's his first matatu ride, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He passed the huts, houses, and stalls, not even glancing at the sweet mandazi. Mandazi, I think, is a market for sale. Okay. He did not even look at all the nice things and toys in the market. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just wanted to get on board the
matatu.
He ran past people, pushcarts, and bicycles, and then he saw it. He saw what? The matatu. Now I'll reveal what is a matatu, okay? Matatu is like a shared minibus. Yeah?
What does it do?
It is often decorated with pictures of famous people or slogans. So they paint the matatu with pictures of famous people or famous slogans. It's a minibus. Yeah, which brings people from one place to the other place.
Does it go faster than a normal bus?
I don't think so. And also you will find out that there are a lot of bumps on the roads in Kenya. So it can't go really fast. And there's a lot of dust around. Yeah? A crowd of passengers waited to board the matatu. The roof was heavy. Why? Because the roof of the matatu had bags of maize, bundles of grass, a bed frame, a mattress with 3 chairs, tons and tons of stuff which the people wanted to bring from one place to the other. Kyoko looked for his grandfather. Grandfather couldn't be seen anywhere. I think he's walking very slowly, right?
Yeah.
Grandfather can't walk faster. Oh my God. Kyoko had waited so long already. He didn't want to wait any longer. So he called up the conductor. Sir, could you please wait for my grandfather? Please do not leave us behind. The conductor was not very happy about waiting up. You know what he said? You must think your grandfather is very important. Yeah?
Yeah.
Why should we wait for your grandfather? You think the entire matatu should wait for your grandfather, huh? You know what? Kyoko's grandfather was actually very wise. He was a teller of stories in the community. And everybody respected him. He is important, Kyoko said. And here he comes. Finally, the grandfather was able to make it on time to the Matatu. His grandfather walked slowly up the dirt road. He nodded at the conductor and he winked at Kyoko before climbing the ladder, the steps of Matatu.
Yeah.
Kyoko peeked around his legs after he boarded the Matatu. What was he looking for? I think he was looking for a seat. There were only a few single seats remaining. This meant they wouldn't be able to sit together. Yeah? Kyoko's grandfather spoke a few quiet words. 3 men stood up to offer their seats. Wow, he was actually a respected member in the community. And you know how we talked about respecting the elders?
Yeah.
So 3 people stood up to give seat to Kyoko's grandfather. Yeah? And Kyoko was feeling very proud. Now he thought, now the conductor should see how important my grandfather is. People are standing up to give away their seats to my grandfather. When the driver started the engine, the Matatu rumbled to life. Kyoko slid in beside the window. He looked out at the market for a familiar face because he was riding the Matatu for the first time. He wanted to wave goodbye to everybody on the road. But he only saw strangers that day. There was no familiar face to wave bye-bye to. As the Matatu started down the road, 2 dogs chased after it, barking. How does a dog bark? That's a good one. Kyoko, because he had nobody to wave to, he waved at the dogs. Bye-bye. But the dogs did not wave back. They disappeared in a cloud of dust. Then the Matatu picked up speed. Yeah?
Yeah.
It wove from one side of the road to the other, avoiding the ruts and the bumps and the potholes in the road.
Yeah.
Where else have you seen potholes in the road? Do you see potholes in Singapore's road?
No.
So where have you seen potholes?
I haven't even seen a pothole.
I have seen it.
Yeah.
When I was young, when I used to ride my bicycle and my scooter and my car. Where did I grow up?
No. India.
Yes. How long will it be to reach Machakos? Kyoko asked. Oh, so they are going to Machakos. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Now Kyoko asked his grandfather, how long will it take for us to reach Machakos? The grandfather smiled and asked, do you want the ride to be over already? Of course not, said Kyoko. So grandfather said it could take 1 hour, it could take 10 hours, or it might not happen. We might not be able to reach Machakos at all. Not happen? Why? Asked Kyoko. He said, sometimes the Matatu breaks down. Yeah? And then the Matatu began to slow down. Was it broken? Was the Matatu broken? No, the grandfather was just kidding with Kyoko. The Matatu was stopping for more passengers. The driver pulled over and the conductor jumped off. Clouds of dust billowed in through the windows and the door. Kyoko covered his face. Too much dust, too much dust. His grandfather laughed. I'm surprised. You are troubled by it. I have seen you playing in so much dust. I couldn't even tell where the dust stopped and where you started. And now you're covering your face when you see dust? Similar to this monkey here. Yeah? When the Matatu started moving again, another barking dog chased after them. And how do the dogs bark, Hara? I love this. Okay, we have some other friends. Hi, Shriya. Hi, Savi. Till now, the story is just giving us the background of Kilia and the Matatu and how people find it very exciting to ride the Matatu. And now a very adventurous story begins. Are you ready? There's a story in the story. Yeah? Yeah? Now Kyoko was very curious after seeing the barking dog. So he asked his grandfather, why do dogs always chase Matatu? Dear dear Babu, because grandfathers are called Babu in Kenya, right?
Yeah.
So he asked, why do dogs always chase matatus, Babu? You don't know? Said his grandfather. Kyoko shook his head. No, I don't know. All right, said grandfather. Let's make this journey interesting. I will tell you the story. Yeah? Kyoko loved his grandfather's stories. But grandfather said one thing to Kyoko. Before I tell you the story, I want you to watch out for goats, sheep, and dogs. Which three animals?
Goats, sheep, and dogs.
So all of us will be watching out for these three animals.
One dog,
Dogs, sheep, and
goat.
Kyoko was surprised. Goats and sheep, he said. But why? I just wanted to know, why are the dogs barking at the matatu? Why do I need to watch out for the goats and the sheep? You know what the grandfather said?
What?
Do you want to know why do dogs bark at the matatu? Yes or no? Yes, said Kyoko. Then you must look out for these three animals. The dogs, sheep, and goats. Yeah? So, Kyoko looked out of the window. The matatu moved quickly, sometimes slowly, the other times, depending on the road. Passengers and their packages came and went. Somebody stopped at one stop, somebody stopped at the other stop, just like our bus ride, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The aisle filled with people. They gripped the railing above their heads as the matatu swerved from side to side. Ooh! Because they don't have like proper roads, right?
Yeah.
So instead of a non-bumpy ride, they had a very, very bumpy ride.
Like whoa, 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 whoa,
Like that.
Is it like how it is?
The conductor picked his way down the aisle, collecting fares, yeah, from the people.
Yeah.
He asked Kyoko and his grandfather, where to? They said, all the way to Machakos. Okay. Then the conductor asked for 18 shillings for two people. How many shillings?
18.
So for one person, how much is the fare? Can you find out? If it's 18 for two people? So before we did story time, we were doing multiplication. Let's see if Arav can do division.
It's 10.
No, that's incorrect. If it's 18 shillings for two people, what is the fare for one person? Who can find out?
18.
If you know the answer, tell me in the comment section. If it's 18 shillings for two people, what is the fare for one person? What do you have to do? You have to split 18 into
3.
2.
Oh, 18 into
18 is for two people, right?
Yeah.
And also it's interesting to know the currency used in Kenya is shillings. Shillings.
Yeah.
Yeah, will you remember? It's like chilling.
18.
The currency is shilling.
Yeah.
So if 18 shilling is the fare for two people, what is the fare for one person? Yes, Neera.
How?
So you have to find out which two numbers you will add and you will get 18. Two same numbers. You have to divide 18 into two parts. So 9 plus 9 is?
9 plus 9 is 18.
That's right.
So 18
Correct, Meenakshi. Awesome. 18? His grandfather asked. Yeah? He said, oh, Kyoko is so small. You should only charge half of the fare for him. He's small, said the conductor. If you want a cheaper fare, we can tie his feet together like we tie the chicken's feet and we can put him on the roof. For a moment, Kyoko thought that the conductor was serious. He became very, very serious and scared. But then Kyoko's grandfather and the conductor, they started laughing. And he knew that they were just kidding. So grandfather handed the conductor a 20 shilling note. So how much do the conductor have to return the grandfather? The fare is 18, right?
Yeah.
And the grandfather handed him over 20 shillings note.
2 tickets. 3.
2 shillings. That's right. 20 minus 18. Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good, Arav. So the conductor did not have change. He just marked 2 lines on the ticket. That means that he will return 2 shillings later. Okay?
Yeah.
And then they moved on further in the journey. Babu, said Kyoko, he did not give you your change. He owes you 2 shillings. Now Babu was very impressed, his grandfather. He said, you are smart with numbers for someone so young. He was just 5 years, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The conductor had no change, but he will give me 2 shillings when we arrive to Machakos, our destination. He showed Kyoko the ticket and he said there are 2 marks in the ticket which shows that 2 shillings for balance. And then Babu asked Kyoko, have you been looking for the animals like I told you? Yes, said Kyoko. I have seen a lot of goats. Well, at least their tails. They always run off when we pass them. And the sheep? Asked Babu, his grandfather. He said, I saw 2 sheep. The sheep just stand around. They keep looking and they don't do anything. They never run away or they never run behind the bus. They just keep looking. Kyoko turned back to the window and he saw several goats who bolted into the bushes when they saw the matatu. Again and again, whenever he saw the dogs barked and they chased the matatu. So what are the dogs doing?
Barking and chasing the
matatu. What are the goats doing?
Hiding.
Running away from the matatu. And what are the sheep doing?
Just standing there and eating and looking.
Just looking. Kyoko did not see many sheep. And the few he did see didn't even seem to notice the matatu. They were just doing their work. So his grandfather asked him, are you ready to tell me about the animals? Yes, he said. See, the dogs bark and chase after us. The goats always run away. What about the sheep? Said the grandfather. Kyoko said, oh, sheep, they do nothing. Grandfather said, it's not possible to do nothing. They must do something. Kyoko thought and said, yeah, you are right. They just stand in the fields beside the road. Sometimes they look at us and sometimes they don't. But they never run away from us and they never run toward us. They never run away or they never chase. Okay, good, said the grandfather. Now I'll tell you the story. Now he's ready to get some answers. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So he said, once, long, long ago, there was a dog and a goat and a sheep. Which 3 animals?
A goat and a sheep.
And a
dog.
Yes. They were going to Machakos. It was too far to walk. So they decided to ride a matatu. Kyoko started laughing. He said, animals do not ride in matatus, Grandpa.
No.
Grandpa said, didn't you see the chicken being loaded onto the roof? So Kyoko said, but that is on the roof, not inside the matatu. Grandfather said, remember, this was long ago. After the dog, the goat and the sheep boarded the matatu. The conductor came to collect the fare. Kyoko laughed again. Animals do not have money, Grandpa. So Grandpa said, well, not after they spent it all on matatu rides. Long, long ago, animals used to have money. But then they spent all the money on the matatu rides. Now the 2 women sitting behind Kyoko, they chuckled because they found the story very funny. Kyoko asked, okay, Grandpa, if you say so, you say that animals used to carry the money, right? So where would the animals carry the money? Grandpa said, think about it. Where do you think they would carry it? Because they have no hands. In their mouths? Exactly, his grandfather said. You are very smart, Kyoko. See, can you look at the animals boarding the
Yeah.
matatu?
Yeah.
They're all carrying the money. Which animals do you see?
A goat,
Yes,
a dog, a sheep,
Yes.
and a rabbit.
yes.
And what is this animal?
I think that's a gazelle.
A gazelle. And what is this? A goose?
I don't know.
A
that
snake.
animal.
That's a snake.
That's not a snake. It has one horn. I don't know which animal is that.
No, this is that tongue.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Kyoko's grandfather continued. The conductor told the dog his fare was 5 shillings.
Hmm.
It was a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
So the dog gave conductor a 10-shilling piece. How much money did the dog give the conductor?
A 10 shilling.
And how much did he owe the conductor?
5 shillings.
So how much extra did he give?
5.
Correct. The conductor handed him a ticket with 5 strokes on balance. That I will pay you 5 shillings at the end of the journey, right? Because the
Yeah.
conductor did not have balance then.
Hmm. Yeah.
And how many strokes did Kyoko and his grandfather got? They got 2 strokes, right?
Yeah.
Because they paid 20 and they owed only 18. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, when the conductor asked the goat for her fare, which was also 5 shillings, the goat showed him 100 shilling note. That is too much, isn't it?
Yeah.
The goat had that much money, said Kyoko. Yes, said the grandfather. I think the goat was selling her milk and that's how she got all the
Money.
Kyoko's grandfather is really a storyteller, right? He's
Yeah.
making more and more stories.
Yeah.
But the conductor did not have enough money to give change to the goat.
Hmm.
So he said to the goat, you keep your 100 shillings. Yeah,
Yeah.
I will collect the fare from you later once I have change. Because you are giving me too much money. Okay? So the conductor said to the goat, you pay me when we arrive. You don't pay me now. Okay?
Hmm.
What about the sheep? Kyoko asked. The sheep had 5 shillings change, which he gave to the conductor. Usually, Arab sheep are very much agreeable creatures. Whatever you tell them, they do it like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, then Kyoko's grandfather asked him, do you know what happened next?
What?
No, said Kyoko. His grandfather turned around to the 2 women behind them and he said, do either of you know? They shook their heads. No, we don't know. Then the grandfather said, I will tell you what happened. So he asked Kyoko, how much money did the dog pay to the conductor? 10 shillings. Yeah?
Yeah.
So the conductor had to return him 5 shillings. How much money did the sheep pay to the conductor?
Hmm.
5 shillings.
Yeah.
He paid the fare. How much money did the goat pay to the conductor?
100.
No, remember the conductor
Five.
said, no, the conductor said, you pay later because I don't have enough change.
100.
Yeah, so the goat had 100 shilling note. But did he pay it to the conductor?
No.
Nothing he paid, right?
Yeah.
So Kyoko's grandfather smiled. He said, when they arrived at the market in Machakos, the sheep was the first one to get off.
Hmm.
I think the sheep was going to sell his wool.
Hmm.
So the sheep got off. Then the dog got off.
Hmm.
But as the dog and the conductor were talking, Kyoko interrupted. He said, hey, grandfather, dogs cannot talk. Grandfather said, just because you don't understand their barking does not mean that dogs don't talk. Yeah? So while the dog and the conductor spoke, the goat quietly snuck off the matatu without paying the money. That's what Kyoko said. But the goat had not paid her fare. The conductor saw the goat running away. Can you see the goat running away?
Yeah.
This one, yeah?
Yeah.
So the conductor saw the goat running away and he yelled at the goat, stop, stop, stop. But the goat
Didn't.
did not stop. So the conductor totally forgot that he had to return 5 shillings to the dog, and he left the dog behind in a cloud of dust, and they started chasing the goat in the matatu to collect the
Money.
money. Kyoko asked, had the conductor given the dog his 5 shillings on balance? No, said his grandfather. And when the dog remembered that the conductor had not returned him the money, he chased after the matatu, barking for his money. His grandfather paused. So now do you know why the animals act as they do? The sheep does not notice the matatu. Why? Because the sheep already paid his fare. So he has nothing to do with the
Matatu.
The goat runs away when it sees the matatu. Why?
Because he hadn't paid his fare properly.
And he doesn't want to pay the fare, yeah?
Yeah.
And the dog chased the matatu. Why?
For their money.
To collect the money, 5 shillings from the
Matatu.
conductor. And the grandfather said, I would bark too if the conductor owed me the money. Then the matatu came to a stop. They had reached Machakos, and all the passengers, they started getting off the matatu. Kyoko, he turned to his grandfather and he said, Babu, you said you wanted to buy me a present for my birthday. Yes, I did, said the grandfather. He said, rather than a present, could you give me 5 shillings? That's too much money, said the grandfather. But Kyoko said, I'm your youngest grandchild. Can't you give me the money, please? And Kyoko got 5 shillings from his grandfather. Now, do you know what Kyoko did with his 5 shillings?
Oh.
He ran up to the bus conductor and he said, here, take this 5 shilling. This is for you. You know why he gave it to the conductor?
What?
Conductor was very surprised. He said, why are you giving me this? He said, this is for the goat. The conductor was super confused. He said, the goat? Because he doesn't know about the story, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Kyoko said. And he pressed the coin into the conductor's hand. And Kyoko held up one finger, just the way his grandfather did when he had something important to say, like this. He said, now that you have the money from the goat, you be sure to give the dog back the money you owe him. Now the conductor was super confused. He started scratching his head. I owe the dog money? What? Then Kyoko turned around and he catched up with his grandfather and they celebrated his birthday very nicely. It's a funny story, right?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
that story wasn't true.
That story wasn't even true, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. So guys, today's quiz question, are you ready for it? How much money did the sheep pay the conductor? That's right. Arav gave me the correct answer. The first quiz question is, how much money did the sheep pay the conductor? The second quiz question is, how much money did the dog pay the conductor? Arav is right again. Arav got 2 rights. How much money did the dog pay the conductor? Yeah. Now the third question is, how much money did the goat owe the conductor? Wrong. Yes. Very good job. 5 what? You have to tell me the currency of Kenya as well. What's the currency we discussed? It rhymes with chilling.
5 million.
Not kneeling.
Willing.
Not willing.
Tilling.
Not tilling.
Killing.
Not killing. What's the currency of Kenya?
Hacking.
Not
Ducking,
hacking.
Ducking.
No.
Jacking, Lacking. Currency of Kenya.
What is Kenya's currency? We just said it rhymes with chilling. Shilling. Yeah. And all of you have participated in the quiz and you have given the correct answer. Very good job. So many winners we have today. Yeah.
1 shilling.
Awesome. Yes, this is the currency of Kenya. Shilling. Very good, Poonam. You don't know? Shilling is the currency of Kenya. It was a very long story, I know. But are we all ready to visit Kenya for a short while? Should we go? I want to share with you some interesting things about Kenya. Should I?
Okay.
Okay, let's go to Kenya. Here we go.
Wait, the giraffes in Kenya?
There are many animals in Kenya.
A lion.
Shilling, yes, that's right.
There's a lion that can scratch out.
All right, let's go to Kenya. Let's visit Kenya for quick 3 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Arav, you know, in Kenya, it's warm all the year around.
Hmm?
It's a warm country.
Wait. Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Sea lions sleep in the native tribe. Good.
We will not be reading all the pages because then it will become very long. You see, you find different kinds of animals in Kenya. Do you know which animal is this one? It's a gazelle.
Hey, the one that we saw.
Yeah, it's a Cape buffalo next to it. Can you see the buffalo?
Yeah.
Their horns are like a cape. It's a Cape buffalo.
Yeah, a yellow balloon.
A yellow baboon.
Wait, a cheetah.
And cheetah.
Very dangerous for
So
cheetah.
you can go for a safari in Kenya because the land there is filled with animals. Giraffes, zebras, elephants,
What happens?
lions, gazelles, Cape buffalo, baboons, and cheetahs.
But what happens if we find a cheetah and start chasing us to eat us?
No, baby, when you go for a safari, they take you on a jeep and you are safe. They won't chase.
Ah, okay.
You know, Kenya's capital is Nairobi.
Hmm?
Nairobi. It is filled with skyscrapers, like tall buildings. More than 4 million people live here. And outdoor markets are very popular. And people sell handmade crafts like jewelry, decor, and clothing. One thing is very famous in Kenya. Do you want to find out?
What?
But tell me, will you remember the capital of Kenya? Nairobi.
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 So you learned 2 things today. The
Nairobi.
capital of Kenya is Nairobi.
Yeah.
And the currency of Kenya is shilling,
Shilling.
which rhymes with
Hmm.
chilling.
Hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Out of many different ethnic groups, they live in Kenya. Let me make the picture bigger for our friends so that they can see. And they have a very special lifestyle. And they love making colorful bead necklaces. Can you see how big the necklaces are?
Yeah.
Men, they participate in jumping dances. That means they have to leap as high as they can when they are dancing. It's a show of their strength. And the beaded necklaces that you see here, Maasai women, they wear it. It's a very important part of their tribe's culture. Can you see how many necklaces the women are wearing?
Yeah.
And the different color beads of the necklace, it represents different values. Like the green color in the necklace, it represents health.
Yeah.
Blue color is for energy.
Yeah.
White is for purity. So all the colors have different meanings.
Yeah.
And out of the kids here, they attend school from 6 years to 14 years. They study English. And they learn music as part of their study as well. It's a very important part of Kenya's culture.
Why? What? Why?
They learn to sing and they learn to play drums at a very young age. Interesting, no?
Yeah.
And in Kenya, Arab, most of the people, they do not have refrigerators. Can you believe it?
What?
No fridge.
No.
Then what do they eat? They eat fresh produce like pineapples, bananas, green vegetables, and they eat a lot of grains. Christmas is a very special day for many Kenyans. They celebrate it together. They go to church. They make a bread from ground corn. So they grind the corn and they make bread out of it.
Yeah.
You know which is another day that they celebrate?
What?
Their Independence Day is called Jamhuri Day. Jamhuri Day. Yeah?
Yeah. Wait, this is the flag?
This is the Kenyan flag. So, Britishers also ruled over Kenya and their rule ended in the year 1963 on December 12. That's when they celebrate Jamhuri Day. And they also organize a Jamhuri Day Cup. It's a soccer tournament. They love to play soccer. Jamhuri Day is quite nice, right?
Yeah.
It's in December.
Yeah.
And Arab, do you know?
Hmm.
Like many athletes in the world are from Kenya.
Mhm.
Some of the world's best runners, they come from Kenya. They have won many races and Olympic medals.
Hmm.
Did you know that?
No.
Quite nice, right?
Yeah.
So this is Kenya. See, have a closer look at Kenya.
Can you make the story not too long?
Yeah, this is the end. So this is the east of Africa. Here, Kenya. Who are its neighbors? Uganda. Hey, that person was from Uganda, no? Black Panther
Yeah.
in the movie, yeah.
Yeah. Tanzania.
Tanzania, Sudan, Ethiopia, and Somalia. These are the neighboring countries
And
of Kenya.
Lake Victoria and Indian Ocean.
Indian
are the,
Ocean.
what
Other
did-
water bodies, yeah.
I mean, no, are the neighboring seas.
Seas. So I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun visiting Kenya today with all of you, and quite interesting story, isn't it, Ara?
Yeah. Wait, what about maths?
What about maths? What about maths?
Kenya?
Okay, guys. So we had a lot of fun reading this to you, and I know the story was a bit longer than our usual story. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you tomorrow with another story. Take care of yourself. Have a great Sunday. Ta ta. Bye
Bye.
bye.
From me and my mother.